Some boy did it dirty.
All right, welcome back to another episode of In the Green Bets. Justin here with Grant. Coming off a major championship week, didn't go great for me to be honest. Pushed two matchups, which was pretty much the death knell. Otherwise, I would have, I think, broke even or maybe won a little bit. But pushed home over Neiman and pushed. Oh shit, I can't think of who it was now. One of the big guys. So
Xander Cantlay.
Yeah, Xander Cantlay.
Right.
So. And I had Zalatoris right there on the knocking on the door. We both had. I had Rahm one and done. You had Rahm outright, and he was there until Sunday. It was a fun event, but not profitable, unfortunately.
Yeah, if Matthew Fitzpatrick wins, neither of us are going to probably be very profitable. I think we've made that pretty clear in the last episodes. Even when he's playing good, we haven't been betting him, which is our fault. But Zalatoris now just competes at every single really hard course. He'll be in the mix like at all times, it seems like, which is kind of interesting going forward. And Xander crapped the bet on Saturday, which really sucked for me. I had a Webb over Abe matchup that 100% would have won, and then Abe WDs 10 minutes before his round and joins the Live Golf or whatever he was going to do. So that sucked. We bet every single guy who missed the cut on the line for some reason. I don't know.
Oh my God. I had like 5 of them.
Yeah, all of our 20s were right at 4, and they all got cut out. So that sucked. But the margin stayed hot. I actually didn't hit the margin because I moved off it, but I think you did. I think you kept it. So the margin stays hot as you got. The fact that I don't listen to my own words is outrageous. But yeah, we're gonna have to move on and try to hit the next one because majors just I don't know why I just haven't been very good this year.
Yeah. I mean, I did well at PGA, but that was JT win kind of buoy deal. I mean, but Zalatoris was right there. I almost hit another. It's kind of frustrating, but I think I have 3 wins and like 4 seconds this year outright betting, which is pretty good. I'd like to hit a higher percentage of first and seconds, but what are you gonna do? But I want to touch on before we dig into Travelers. Some live stuff came out again today. Abe and Brooks are going. And we're going to see a PGA Tour schedule shakeup. Now, they have not announced 2023 schedule at all. I anticipate it looking very, very similar with a few events being changed to this 50-player big money event. And it sounds like they're going to have 2 events those weeks, one for the scrubs and one for the top 50 guys. So that will be a bit interesting. To see, I mean, I think they're going to push a handful to the fall and not really have like a true fall season. But I don't know. It's interesting to see their response to the live stuff because from some of the stuff I was reading, we've already lost some big guys, but it sounds like post FedEx Cup season, there are. Some other guys and potentially some really, really big guys leaving. They want to stick around, get their cash from the FedEx, and then, go do that. Xander, Cantlay, Vic, those type of guys. You start losing, 8 of the top 15, really changes your golf product, and you have to it's really going to change our, the betting and the watching of golf.
Yeah, I think the Victor thing is obviously we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there's just been some rumors and kind of where there's smoke, there's fire. But when you start talking about some of these young guys, that's where I start to get a little not worried, but more so like, hey, we might start taking this a little seriously because DJ, right? Like obviously he's still elite and he's amazing, but his career is not at the beginning, right? He's more so going towards the end of the last leg of his kind of elite golf status. Brooks same way. Yeah. Victor Hovland, his career hasn't even really started yet. He's gotten 3 bogus wins. That's it. So
Bryson is really the only under 30 guy who is like good that's left. Everyone else is over 30.
Right. So
that's Abe now, I suppose, but
yeah, and that's whatever. I'll save my money if Abe leaves, so that'll be good.
Yeah,
But yeah, the Victor thing sucks. I hope that doesn't happen, but it might. He's one of my favorite guys to watch, and I think he's going to be super, super good. So I hope he doesn't do it. But we'll see. I like the schedule change. I think it's actually a good thing because that fall swing, like we got some. There's a couple months there where it's like, holy shit, this is like.
Yeah, and the worst part was they were like, there was the regular amount of FedEx Cup points available for all these tournaments, so like
Right.
you had to show up to a couple just to get some points.
Right. I like making
try
it
not to
more
get behind
known.
the 8 ball.
You know, if you're a fan and you don't gamble every weekend or you don't watch every weekend, wouldn't it be nice to know, like, hey, these 5 or 6 events or 7 or 8, whatever it is, like I can tune in those weeks, right? And I can watch all
Yeah,
the
we're
big
gonna have
ones.
4 majors, the players, and then 8 of these big time events with
Right.
all these guys showing up, and it's like, all right, well, there's 13 weeks right there that will be really fun to watch. Plus, I assume they'll keep FedEx Cup, so you got 2 or 3 playoff events that are pretty fun.
Yeah.
They need to change some shit up. It's pretty clear. The players are pretty unhappy with some of the stuff that's gone on. So, and the problem is they cannot keep up with Lit. Like if guys want money, like there's nothing they can do. Like they can try to funnel as much money as they can, but like No Laying Up guys have done a really good job on their pod of like breaking out why they can't just give money, like appearance fees to guys because of their charitable structure and all that stuff. And so long as they're 501c6 or whatever the hell they are, like you can't. They literally can't do what Liv is doing. Plus, they don't have the money, but and they're trying to like break even, make money, give money to
Right.
charity. Liv's just like, we'll fucking lose $1 billion. It doesn't matter to us. So it will be an interesting next few months, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to. I mean, eventually we're going to have to tune into one of these events. We're going to have to. If the guys if they start getting pretty good fields, we're going to have to tune in and watch and see what it's like. And then I think that next step for them is how to watch it, who's broadcasting it, commentators, how can they
Commentators were
make it
good.
right? How to make it better than watching the PGA Tour? Because quite frankly, the PGA Tour has humongous broadcast issues. So they should be all over that, taking advantage. Because like, hell, I could probably produce one better on my iPhone than they do some days.
It's terrible.
So
And this weekend was a disgrace.
they have opportunities, and it sucks because I don't really want them all to go. I don't want them to split up. It's going to be like, are we going to start putting asterisks on certain events because the fields are getting weaker? Like, I don't know where this goes, but we'll have to just kind of see where. I hope just the young guys stay together. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah. We'll see. I think we'll know more by like September. We get the FedEx Cup over. I think at that point, Liv will be 4 or 5 events in. Plus, they'll be probably getting ready to announce next year's. I think they're going to do like 12 or 13 events. You're going to see some guys take the cash by then. Liv will be $1.5 billion in the hole probably, but they'll probably have a TV deal at that point. The broadcast guys they have are professional guys. They were pretty good. The shotgun start is super weird and annoying. I watched some of it that day that they, last tournament. It's hard to tell where the fuck guys are. Some guys are 14 holes in, and some guys are 12 holes in, but somehow they all start at the same time. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But, I don't know. We're going to have to get used to it. It's going to be here to stay. And then the European Tour aspect of this is going to be very interesting. Supposedly they're going to release a statement Thursday. As to their position to some of this. And
yeah, I mean, the logical thing for them is they just hopefully join forces, right? Like that's kind of what I assume they're going to want is at least like just get all the top guys to come over to Live. I don't really necessarily think we want 3 tours, right? I don't think I guess who's playing in the European Tour?
Yeah, DP World Tour. Sorry for the misnaming, whatever you want to call it now.
Like,
I mean, it's just all the Euro guys who either aren't on the PGA Tour or don't want to live in the States.
Right, but I'm saying if you're one of those guys, you're going to immediately just try to go play for Live, right, and just try to win more money.
Yeah,
if you're good enough.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
The old Live roster is getting kind of tough to make the bottom half here. If we get a real exodus, I mean, they're going to have 12 or 15 pretty damn good players here shortly. I'll be interested to see who they cut, who gets knocked off the 48 list.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
For the first
hopefully they got those. The wires already came through.
Yeah, I hope Ogletree got his $100,000 or whatever he got because If you fucking shoot 83 straight days, I think you get
He got
cut.
100,000 for every bogey he made, so now he's a fucking bajillionaire.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's give up on that and let's move on to Travelers. Actually, a fun event. Birdie Fest event, but we saw like an 8-hole playoff here last year, or however many holes that was with Harris and Kramer Hickok. Spieth hold out for a win here. Just a kind of a fun tournament. Course is easy if you're in the fairway. If you're not in the fairway, it can get not difficult, but you can't keep up in terms of birdie making if you miss a bunch of fairways because the greens are pretty small. They'll have enough, pace and firmness that coming from the roughs, just you're not going to be able to make enough birdies from the rough. So I want my fairway guys, I want my iron players, and then you're going to have to putt your ass off to make 20 birdies or whatever. But
yeah, it looks like the fairways are pretty wide, so
they are. Yeah.
So I think guys will be sort of fine. You just definitely don't want anybody spraying it. This is a Pete Dye course, right? So this is just one of those.
I think so.
Where you kind of put it where you're supposed to put it, and then it turns into like a target putting fest on the second half of the holes. I think there's somebody else on the call right now who's going to be playing a Pete Dye course this weekend, so that's fitting for the event. But this is nice that
nope, it's not a Pete Dye course. This is River Highlands, right?
Yeah, it's not.
It's a Robert Ross and then a Bobby Weed redesign.
Oh, okay, never mind then. But we just played in Boston, the field kind of transferred over pretty well with it being in Connecticut. So there's got some guys that are still around, and we got some decent players here playing.
It is a Pete Dye. It's a Pete Dye did it in 1982. So he did some holes or something.
Bet Siwoo Kim.
Yeah, it's one of those courses that guys kind of do. Once if you do well here, you always do well here. I mean, Bubba's won this 3 or 4 times. He was in the league last year at one point. So definitely be looking into some course history stuff this week. Field's good. At least at the top, it gets a little thin when you get towards the 20s, 30s range. But there's some guys in there that have been playing, really good golf, fit the course really well. All the bunters showed up this week because it's one of those weeks that you can take advantage of it. So, but let's jump in. Let's look at it because we got some big boys up top.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from most of them big boys.
Scheffler, Rory, JT, Cantlay. I will not be touching any of them. This seems like the most Cantlay, he just goes out and just makes a bajillion birdies because that's what he does. But I don't think his number is bettable. 14, 12, 13. No.
I like these guys just like most people do, but when you bring in a course that is short like this, I don't like betting these top guys just
where you got to make a bajillion birdies.
Right. It brings
who knows how your putter's going to show up after,
Right. I agree. I mean, we've obviously seen a lot of really big names win already this season, but today or this weekend is not really the week to go up top, I don't think. Although my one and done is the next guy, but I'm not going to bet him because I still don't like that number. I think we're both settled on the exact same guy with Jordan Spieth.
Yeah. Sam Burns.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I'm not going to bet him. He's my one and done, but I'm saying we're going to bet Jordan Spieth.
Yeah. So Spieth at 25-1, I think is a pretty damn good number. I know his puttering still looks bad, but he won an event. He almost won the week after, or his next start after, and he's won here before. At 25-1, I'll just take him. I'll just ride with Spieth, see what happens. He didn't play well last week. I kind of don't care. He was sick or had the flu or whatever, so he must be feeling better if he's going to show back up the next week. That's for me. That's it. Like you mentioned, we'll talk about one done later, but I think Burns is a good play here. If he hits enough fairways, hitting nukes off the tee, we'll look out because that dude can putt his ass off, and he's done well in some of the
I think this. I honestly kind of want to bet it. I'm not going to because I'm just going to let him ride on my one and done. But I think this is a super Sam Burns week. It just is so fitting for have wide fairways, let him ball strike his balls off, and then just make a bunch of putts. That's just exactly what he wants to do. So I really his form is unbelievable too. Like I was looking at it earlier, his approach is
Has
number
Rory
one.
ever played here? This seems like a Rory, like he could just go off. Yeah, he's played here 3 times. He has never finished worse than 17th.
Not bad.
Like if Rory just like hit nukes all day into these fairways, granted there's a bunch of dog legs, so he's not gonna be able to hit driver a whole bunch, but
Right.
some good finishes recently from Rory. Holy shit! But this is the guy I'm worried about a little bit. 4 straight top 15s here, kind of quietly lingering with some good golf, and Cantlay likes to do this thing on easy courses where he just makes a bajillion birdies.
Yeah, him and Burns were both my past performance guys, and then Brian Harmon, Kisner, guys like that. You're gonna add some bunters in the mix.
Xander or Sungjae at 28. I know he didn't play well last week, but he was playing super, super good before that. I'll probably just I think 30 is the best number I've seen. I'll probably bet him at 30. This sets up really nicely for him. Just hit it in the fairway, ball strike your ass off, and hope your putter gets hot. Beyond that, honestly, that Sungjae's kind of the drop off. Then you get to the there's no way to predict what's coming out of the bag for these guys. They're all really good, capable of potentially a win, but you can't they could easily miss a cut too.
Yeah, so, I like Neiman though. I think I'm actually gonna probably bet Neiman this week at 35. I don't.
I like him too, definitely.
He hasn't missed a cut since February, and that was right after his win. So that was kind of throw that out the window. Yeah. His form's been really good. He had a top 5 in the Memorial. He made the cut at the U.S. Open. He kind of fits as far as he's going to give himself a lot of opportunities. He's gained on this putter 4 of the last 5, and that 5th one was the U.S. Open. So we're not even sure. He might have honestly. I can go back. I can't look actually, but he might have actually gained there too, which would be 5 out of the last 5. Which is fine for me. You're going to have to make putts to win. And I think if he gives himself enough opportunities, we can hopefully hit that spike. 35 is better than these other. Some of these other guys in this range are not. Harold Varner at 35? Come on.
He's been playing good, but I'm not betting him. I like Mito quite a bit. He popped number 1 on my model. I think he's kind of due for a win. I don't know, maybe not, but he's been playing really, really, really good golf. I don't know how I feel about the Brian Harmon at 40. He was playing pretty well at the U.S. Open and then kind of faded. I like Wise at 50.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to land right here on Wise at 50.
Is 40 the best number you can get on Tony? Yeah.
Wise has been awesome, and his putter has been on fire.
Which is
crazy
because he's a terrible putter for the most part.
He's gained over 4.5 strokes he gained. Well, I can't tell. The U.S. Open keeps messing me up, but he's gained over 4 strokes putting 2 events before the U.S. Open, and then finished top 30 at the U.S. Open.
He putted pretty good too.
Yeah, his ball striking is amazing. He's had 2 events approach over 7.5 strokes since May. 2 of them, and the rest of them are all green too. So his form is right there. I think that he's a birdie maker if he can keep that putter rolling, and I think that this number is pretty good for a guy of his skill level to kind of keep up.
Yep. I don't hate Denny, honestly, at 65. He played super, super good golf last week. He's been playing much better this season. His iron's been much better, and obviously he's still putting the shit out of it. Brendan Steele has a great track record here, but I'm not touching Brendan Steele this week.
No, I'm gonna stop.
The thing I like to see is Brendan Steele is he's played awesome here. I don't necessarily want to bet Brendan Steele, but I want to bet the 2022 Brendan Steele. Guys like Brendan Steele, short guys who hit a shitload of greens and can ride a hot putter. Webb at 70 is disrespectful as fuck. I know he's not been good, but he's popped a couple of times recently, and I think he's had some good success here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a couple top 10s and another top 15.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm not worried about the U.S. Open. He had 2 top 30s before that. He kind of picks and chooses events, and I've seen enough from him that 70 is just kind of – I agree. It's just when you see a 70 on Webb playing decently at a course like this where he can compete with how it's set up, I think we got to take it.
I honestly don't hate Brendan Todd at 100. He's been playing decent. He's proven he can win on tour, and this is the exact type of course that if he's ever going to win again, it's he hits 60 fairways and
Mhm.
just a bunch of greens and putts his ass off. He's been playing pretty good. He's played good here in the past. Joel Damon fits well too because he's not going to get killed by the Bombers this week. He played super good last week. He putted like shit though. Like he lost like 4 strokes putting on Saturday, and he didn't really putt much better on Sunday. But you know, he has the game to do it. I'm not sure he's going to win though. Like he won whatever Barracuda or whatever the fuck that shitty tournament was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's going to win like a full tour event. We kind of get down here and into the doldrums.
We
But,
weren't sure Matthew Fitzpatrick was going to win either.
yeah, but Matt Fitzpatrick and they're way different people. Their pedigrees are not even remotely close. Plus, Fitzpatrick is like just a straight up bomber now. Like he just hits
I
it
love
far
it.
as fuck. Like
No, he has that little like his torque is all like boom, like he has a little
he
snap. in his
swings
swing
back
around.
fast
Yeah.
to get like extra speed. He was like the only player of the day that hit like 8 and 2. He had like 300 yards and hit through it on the front edge. It's like nuts.
I love it. He's transformed and it's worked out for him.
I mean, there was like people tracking like the ball speeds. Him and DJ played together the first day. He had higher ball speeds than DJ.
Man, good for him.
He's like legit like a bomber now. Not like a bomber in the same sense that these guys are, but like he hits it far.
Bomber
It's
with
not just hitting
braces,
it kind of
baby.
far. Yeah. For me though, that's kind of where it ends. I'm not going much deeper than that. Although I do
No.
think this is a week where you could see some weird names on the leaderboard just purely because some guys can, putt their ass off. But I think the field's kind of too good to see a really long shot actually win.
Yeah, I think we're both on the right page with Spieth. Although I've been betting Spieth for freaking months now. And then I think we're fine there in that middle range. Unfortunately, our range last week was wrong, besides Zalatoris, I guess. But I think it's going to be a good player. I'm in the camp that this is going to be a decent player that wins this event, especially with the field we have. And we just kind of hopefully avoid one of those top 4 guys not like playing super well.
So DraftKings has a boost: Scheffler, Spieth, or Burns to win 4-1.
Scheffler, Spieth, or Burns. That's pretty good.
It's an interesting bet.
4 is not great, but
No. Top 20s: Davis Riley, Brian Harmon, Aaron Wise, Denny at 2-1, Webb plus 250, Todd plus 330. Those types of guys. All the guys we kind of just mentioned.
yeah, I like Seamus Power, but his numbers is horrible. So I don't know what to do there. I guess I'm just going to not bet him. That's really unfortunate.
Seamus Power going to cost. I mean, has he been really that good recently? Didn't he go on like kind of a pretty decent cold streak and then pop back up a little bit?
Yeah,
He was good at PGA, right? But before that, he wasn't good.
He kind of cooled off. Still isn't even that high on my model, but
He missed 3 cuts, then he finished 2 outside the top 25, missed cut 17th, 9th, missed cut 12th. So his 3 of his last 4 have been good.
and his putter has been on fire.
2 of which are majors.
Yeah, I like him, but unfortunately the numbers aren't going to work out. Wise at 180 is going to be 100% on my card. What about the old Triangle? He's been playing decent too. He's kind of come back in the mix.
Cam Tringali.
Yeah. After he got hurt, I think he's kind of made a comeback. He's also a guy who can play in conditions like this, which is nice. Yeah, got top 15 at the U.S. Open, made the cut at the Memorial, made the cut of the PGA. His approach numbers have been bad, though. So, I don't know. I'll have to look into him later. Oh, Webb at 250 is not a bad one.
Yeah, Webb and Todd I both mentioned there. I like both of them for sure. Matchups. This is an interesting week for matchups because a lot of the guys they're not going to give you much down low. And a lot of the guys in the middle are all playing pretty well and kind of fit nicely.
I would find the Seamus Power matchup and go the other way because it seems like they think he's Justin Thomas all of a sudden.
Yeah. Let's see. Denny over Brennan Steele.
We never talked about Xander at 20. Would you bet that?
I'm quitting Xander again for a bit. I know they're gonna hang him at like 29 at fucking Open, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
play it again. Look, he's good as fuck, and I will just keep betting him because he's better than the guys priced around him, and I'll just like keep losing my money. He was like right there after 2 rounds, and then just
he was
shot
one day
like a
away.
jillion.
He had 3 really good days and 1 shitty one. That's just
What
what it
did
comes
he?
down to. He shot a
wonder what it is.
75 on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, because he birdied a couple coming in. He was 7 over through 8 when I texted you that he was ejecting.
Ejecto City. The old Victor Hovland Friday ejection was amazing. It was like,
What's his deal in majors?
well, these courses where you got to be creative around the greens, man. You don't have it. He ain't got it. He can't make pars. He can't scramble.
No, he can't. Xander almost backdoored a top 10 for us too. By the way, he was only 2 shots out. So excluding Saturday, he shot 3 under.
Yeah, he was in the mix. He was in the mix if he just would have played one day better. One day.
Another thing we didn't really touch on is the leaderboard was a fucking who's who. Fitzpatrick, Scheffler, Zalatoris, Decky, Morikawa, Rory. It's like, you better bring your fucking irons to this mix, buddy, because those are some stellar fucking tee to green guys.
Although I didn't hit Fitzpatrick, which I wouldn't have bet him anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you had the Zalatoris and I had the Rom Morikawa thing, so we kind of had.
I bet Morikawa too. That was frustrating as hell.
So we had like the board up there. We had guys in place, just unfortunately.
You take out Morikawa's Saturday round, he shot 9 under.
Oh, I think he had 266s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is, but Fitzpatrick was sitting right there at 30 though, and he had been playing like fucking awesome. But I think if we could pull up the show from last week, I think I actually said like Fitzpatrick's not winning a major based on what I saw in PGA. Like he's just not.
Yeah, he did.
Turns out I was wrong.
17 of 18 greens on Sunday gets it done.
Yeah, that's like whip your dick out, show off your big nut stuff.
Patrick Cantlay plus 105 over JT. We think JT's going to play well here? Has he played well?
He's so hard to predict because, like, if he hits fairways, he could just pepper the shit out of these flags. The problem is his putter is like, what?
He was number 1 in my model by like a mile. Dude.
JT?
Yeah.
Fucking Mito Pereira pot number 1 in my model. If that tells you anything.
Ooh, JT hasn't finished that good. Anything below 36 of the Travelers since 2016. That's 2. In all 3 of the last times he's played here, he's lost over 3 strokes on the greens. I'm going to bet that actually. Can't lay 105.
I'm going to run through this real shortly. So some guys that popped in my model that are priced pretty high. CT Pan, JJ Spawn, Alonto, Bond, Nate Lashley, David Lipsky, Hoagie, and our guy Smotherman, who always fucking pops.
Yeah, Smotherman pops and never does anything. Where the fuck?
He's made a bunch of cuts in a row, but has only 2 top 30s to show for it.
Keegan Bradley matchup. I'd like to find one of those. I think he's going to play well this weekend.
You can get him against Jordan Spieth.
Ooh, I'm not sure I'm interested in
that. Let's see here.
Right now I got Wise over Riley and Cantlay over JT.
I like Davis Riley this week.
Yeah, Wise was it's Keegan and Sung Jae. I don't mind that actually. You like Davis Riley? Davis Riley minus 106 as the dog to Seamus Power. I told you, take that.
Davis Riley's been playing like super fucking good.
There's his. There's the Seamus Power overpriced matchup right there.
Davis Riley has 1 finish outside the top 13 since April, and he finished 31st at the U.S. Open last week. That was it. 5th, 9th, 13th, 4th, 13th. Some big boy events in there.
So maybe I should add that and take off the other one. Davis Riley minus 106 over Power. Hey.
Yeah.
Our matchup's actually been pretty decent as of lately, but our placings, holy.
Those 2 pushes were so bad for me. That really pissed me off. You can get Wise over Power -110 on FanDuel.
-110.
Mm-hmm.
Add that. Add it. I got 2 power fades now. I said I liked
Maybe
it
the
too,
week he
right?
finishes like third.
Yeah. Oh, this is like betting HV3. I kind of like HV3 this week too. I think he could play
I do
pretty
too.
well.
He's one of the guys. He'll fucking first round lead.
I know. We have to go back to margin 1 and 2, right? I mean, I gotta stop.
This has been close though. I think we've had playoffs like 3 of the last like 8 years or something stupid. Is that right? A bunch of playoffs.
English and Kramer, DJ. I don't think DJ had a playoff.
No, but I think Spieth was in a playoff, right?
And then Ches Reavie won before that. Kramer Hickok hasn't had a showing since losing this.
What?
Kramer Hickok hasn't had a showing since losing this. No, he hasn't done anything since.
Do you remember that DJ win? Brendan Todd like absolutely fucking collapsed on Sunday.
Yeah, it was not good.
He shot 75 on Sunday. Will Gordon. That was the Will Gordon week.
Some Pete Guide Tee to Green names: HV3, Streelman, Siwoo, Neiman, Keegan, Rory, JT Cantlay. Kind of some guys we've already mentioned, so that kind of backs it up there.
You guys who are good at golf.
Tee to Green on short courses, so less than 7,200 yards from Fantasy National. JT Russell Henley, whose form's actually really bad, but he could pop here this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he came out and played well.
Siwoo again, Sungjae, Luke List, strangely. Cantlay, Webb, HV3, Tony, and Keegan. So there's a lot of similar names right there.
Tony is intriguing me, only because like maybe you just throw last week out the window. The week before that, he made like 1,000 birdies. Like he at like a birdie fest course where it was like you need to be in the fairway and putt well. Like he just did that. So I don't know. He kind of intrigues me, honestly.
If you had to have a best bet, what would your best bet be this week, you think?
My favorite outright would be probably Sungjae at 30. I think that's a really good number. My best bet, I would say Davis Riley top 20 plus 170. And I don't even know if that's the best number.
Yeah, so I'm gonna write that down, but I gotta check that. See, I really like Keegan.
2 to 1. You can find my 2 to 1.
I like Keegan top 20, but his number on DraftKings is only even money, so I would not take that. I would more so bet the Webb 70 and then pair it with that Webb 30 and try to just use that as insurance. I think Webb is totally mispriced this week. I think that's the biggest one of the board.
Yeah, I mean his form is like pretty average, but he did have a couple decent finishes, and he's been good here. And this course sets up really nicely for him.
Right, and like
he's also a Pete Dye guy.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Henley was also a past performance guy. He's played well here. So if you're looking to jump off that Henley bad form bandwagon, then this would be a good week to kind of try to hit that first pop.
Definitely.
He would be more so like a DraftKings guy if you're trying to like go against the grain. Maybe add a little Henleys in there, although he's pretty popular, so maybe not.
What is Seabass's form? That's okay.
Jason Day, another guy who's played well here.
If you bet Jason Day, I mean, I guess maybe for a 20 or something like that. But man, he is a WD waiting to fucking happen.
Hey, you want to do the HV3 fade, or are we done getting burned on that?
I'm tired of getting beat by HV3. It's really frustrating.
Brian Harman -1.
Maybe this is what I should do. I should bet Varner first round leader, and then also with a matchup.
To like him as the winner?
First round leader, and then a matchup against him.
Oh,
because he's going to collapse. It's just like he's gonna make you sweat all the way, and he may edge you out
Right.
because he plays so well in the first round.
But does he collapse to 12th because he was in second, or does he collapse from 8th to 40th? Like, it's just kind
His
of hard.
last four finishes: miscut, 13th, 27th, 48th. So like two decent finishes, but two not very good finishes. And he has 3 okay finishes here. He never finished in the top 20.
Yeah,
He is like the if you said, all right, I'll give you any guy, you put him in the fourth round, they'll choke. He's number one on my list. He's the biggest choker on the whole tour. It's a miracle that he won that Dubai event.
one where he made 90 foot.
Like a fucking 100-footer from off the green.
One and done. This is a clear, easy choice for me.
Pull mine up real quick.
Sam
Who
Burns.
do you have left? At the top?
Scheffler, Burns.
Yeah, so I have Scheffler, Burns, and Spieth, and then I get into the like Neiman, Keegan, Mito, that like the shitty players group. So it's basically Burns or Spieth for me.
Scheffler, Burns. Yeah, Keegan, Tony, Brooks, Wise, Riley, Fleetwood, Harmon, Power, Leishman, Webb. So it's all these guys that we've already been discussing.
Yeah, for me, while I'm going to bet Spieth and not Burns, mostly because of the number, Burns has been playing a lot better than Spieth, and I kind of want to save Spieth for the Open just in case he figures it out.
Last 24 rounds in my model, Sam Burns, number 1 in approach, number 3 in overall putting, number top 10 in ball striking, 3rd in strokes gained par 5, which if you score on all the par 5s this week is going to be great. And then birdies are better gained. He was top 5 in that also. I think he sets up great this week. I'd be happy to use him. I know he just got a win, but we're looking for that 5th win. I think this is 5th win, right? Yeah, it's 4. So if we could get that, we'd be back in the hunt. You'd be really in the hunt if you hit yours.
Yeah. I am less than $1 million out of the money.
There you go.
Rahm really fucked me last week. If he could have just finished like 3rd or 4th. The worst part is I was sitting here. We had this conversation. It was between him and Scotty. And Scotty made like $1 million more bucks than him because he got second. And then I could have had Rahm at the Open. But, you live and you learn, I guess. I mean, I've made some big bucks. I miscut at Genesis, Monster Money Field, and I miscut at the Masters. So the fact that I am where I am is kind of a bonus.
Let's discuss the Open real quick, just really briefly. We're going to see a little bit of a different style of people that we're going to be betting, right? Like it's going to be more so.
Depends on the weather. If it doesn't blow, that course is not difficult at all. It's short, and it's going to roll like a cocksucker. So, like, even the short guys can kind of hit it out there. I mean, Louis, I think the last two St. Andrews Open winners are Zach Johnson and Louis.
Oh, so both short hitters.
And Spieth should have made the one playoff. I can't remember who Zach Johnson beat in the playoff, but Louis won by like $1 million.
Because there's not that many.
If the wind blows like a motherfucker, it kind of changes things, and then that makes the ground like crazy fucking hard, and it's hard to get balls to stop.
Yeah, I mean John Deere's next weekend, so it's coming up. It's not too far away, and then you have Scottish.
3 weeks, so we got this week John Deere, Scottish, and then
right.
I'm looking at odds now. Honestly, Burns at 35. I doubt his Open record is worth a shit at all, but he'd be one of those guys that if you saw a good forecast, it'd be like, yeah, let him just go fucking after this course. Other than that, not seeing any numbers that I'm in love with. Patrick Reed, 65. He's probably not winning, but
Neiman at 50. I don't mind that.
Neiman, he's a bit flaky for my taste, but fucking Xander at 22.
Seamus Power and Patrick Reed are the same price. Does Seamus's Power's family have billions of dollars or something? Like, are they just?
I don't get it. He always is price low. He won one fucking event with no good players there, and now Will Z at 25. Honestly, that's disrespectful as fuck.
Max Homa is at 80. I wouldn't mind betting. I might consider betting that.
Will Z at 25. You got freaking. I don't know. You got Xander at Price. I mean, they're kind of in the same boat though now.
Who, him and
Will
Xander?
Z is just like recent Xander. Like he's just like they're doing the same thing. Awesome major finishes, no wins.
Yeah, but Xander's going to win. Or Zalatoris is going to start. He's going to get wins. I mean, he has to.
Who wins next, Xander or Zalatoris?
Zalatoris.
I'll take that bet. I think
Let's do it.
Xander's way better in the.
Yeah.
Xander's way better in the regular tournaments. He putts much better. He can win more regular tour events. I've been saying this the whole time, and it's come true ever since Zalatoris came on the scene. Is that he's going to win a hard tournament? He's not going to win a Birdie Fest. He's not putt good enough. He putts good enough in majors. Because I don't know why he puts better in majors, but he does. But like even then, he puts good enough to like get close. He doesn't putt good.
Yeah. Zalatoris could win like one of those playoff events. Really, that would be somewhere he
Definitely.
could possibly win.
You go to like BMW or somewhere like
right.
that.
But then once we hit like the post FedEx, is like he's going to be probably screwed until February or so. So, but that's okay.
I don't know. It's an interesting thought. It's weather dependent for me. I mean, if the weather gets shitty, I like Spieth. I like Lowry. I like Brooks. Although I used to like Brooks, I should say. Decky. Give me the like guys who can flight it and that type of stuff. If the weather's really good, give me Rory. That dude is on a fucking mission to win one of these. And if the weather is pretty tame over there, he's gonna fucking annihilate it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to bet Hovland, but now his play and just all this rumors and stuff, I just don't even want to do it anymore.
Well, like his major record sucks. He has 0 top 10s. Morikawa has like 2 wins plus 4 other top 10s. Like they're not in the same category to me. They're not. Also, we kind of learned some stuff about Morikawa. He might be a bit of like a fair weather golfer. All of his wins, super good conditions. As soon as it got hard on Saturday, ejecto to the back. Gets real nice again on Sunday, 66.
I like
Not saying
golfing.
it's a bad thing, but like because they play like a lot of fucking weeks where it's
Right.
like, bit of a dart throw contest, which obviously works out for him, but just saying.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's just like it gets in his head maybe a little bit about changing certain stuff, or if he tries.
I just think it's like his game doesn't set up for it. He wants to see the ball do a certain thing,
right.
and he plays a really straight ball, and if you get in the wind, you got to hit some creative shots.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he can't get better at it. Like JT's gotten way better at that. He was a terrible, like, bad conditions player for a long time. Now he's very good at it.
Morikawa has this thing though. If it's good conditions and he's on, he's better than everybody by like a mile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like it may suck. Like he may not win a U.S. Open because of it, because it's just that doesn't fit him. But like 70% of the tour events set up really fucking awesome for him,
right?
Including PGA most years, Masters most years. Last 4 winners at St. Andrews: 2015 Zach Johnson, 2010 Louis, Tiger. Better hit your fucking irons good. Is what it seems like.
Yeah, we're gonna do like. Are there gonna be PGA major winners post live and pre live? Like how we're gonna start? What's those fields gonna be like? Because that field was super loaded this year.
Which field?
PGA.
I mean, it's going to be loaded every year, I would say.
Right. Well, not those other guys.
Yeah, but that's different. That's PGA of America. It's not.
They're going to let them play?
I would guess so. They want to have a good field or a shitty field.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that they would have some sort of connection where it'd be like, hey, we're not letting those dudes in. But maybe so.
2015 Open, Louis and Mark Leishman were in the playoff. So
Okay.
Louis almost had 2 of them.
Yeah, wind players don't really necessarily have to be a bomber. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how the weather is that week. Obviously Rory's gonna be priced horrible, but I kind of think he's gonna win one. And
NBA
obviously
draft this
Scheffler's
Thursday.
awesome. Yeah, you can kiss Shaden Sharp in one pick thing goodbye. It was fun while it lasted, but
Paulo has the odds have dropped.
I kind of think Chet's the bet at this point, based on the odds. Seems like there's a lot of fucking like smoke screen bullshit out there, and nobody really actually knows. So I'll pose it to you this way: if you were Orlando, who would you take?
I don't know because I haven't seen Sharp in person, but he'd be up there. I don't know. I'd have to see Jabari play like one. I'd have to see him play like outside of Auburn.
It's a really, really difficult question. I'd rather have like the second or third pick, to be honest with you.
I don't think I would take Chet. I think he's not in my running for number one.
I don't know that I have the sack to take him. Like he's the one that could probably really fuck you. Like if he just injured and gets pushed around his whole career, and it's like,
Right.
kind of a nice bench player, but nothing else. Like I don't know, it's not really what you're looking for.
Okay.
Second overall pick.
Yeah, so there's exact picks on here, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren, third overall pick, is plus 550.
It's because everybody thinks he's going to Oklahoma City.
Shaden Sharp is 13-1 to go fourth, and then 6-1 to go fifth. I might bet both of those and just hope that he falls in that little range.
All the mocks have him going like eighth or something to.
Yeah, I saw that he was
or
going
seventh,
to go years or whatever. Boo. Not fun.
Fourth overall pick, Matherin is 15-1. Is there a chance they just take him and they're like, well, he's a little bit bigger. He can play next to those guards a little bit better than Ivy.
I think Ivy's going to go pretty high just based on athleticism, but we'll see.
Everybody seems to think he's the fourth best guy. But
Yeah.
AJ Griffin, top 10 pick, 2-1.
Ooh, that's
Seems
pretty
like
good
his
one.
medicals maybe aren't as bad as people thought. Obviously, he's had the previous injuries, but who doesn't want like a fucking 6'8" wing who can shoot the shit out of it and is, in theory athletic? Like,
So
you really gonna
AJ
take
Griffin-
Jalen Duren over him? Like, that'd be the stupidest thing of all time.
So AJ Griffin, top 10 pick is 2-1. If you go to
That's what I
player
just
draft
said.
position, under 10.5 is plus 210. So take the 210 if you're wondering for that.
Sports
one.
books are fucking stupid. I don't understand. That's really strange.
I need to look at these. We should have looked at these prior, but that's okay. Maybe we'll tweet some out if we have any. Some of these over-unders, we could definitely bet these if we just kind of start writing shit down. Ty Washington under 19.5 is minus 110. I like that. 19 is really high.
First round pick. I feel like we need to hit up some people that you may know and see if we can get some fucking intel on that one.
It's a possibility.
Is Pat Baldwin really gonna fall out of the first round? Somebody's gonna be like, nah, fuck it.
He's plus 150. Man, there's some bad names.
Like if the Warriors were sitting there 29, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know. Some interesting stuff in here.
We'll have to look at it some more. Maybe we'll look at it tonight and then we'll tweet some stuff out.
Also, F1 is getting to the point where the points race is like kind of boring, and it's getting back to like the Lewis Hamilton days, where Max just wins by a bajillion.
Yeah, the points is the season long competition is over. It's just a matter of whether Mercedes gets back to normal by the end of the year, so that next year is competitive.
Yeah, they were better this week, but they still weren't close.
Lewis dog cusses his car and then gets podium, so I don't even know what to think about him.
Wow, they fucking bargained. They like bullshitted the FIA or whoever to get the car porpoising changes done. So
yeah.
Maybe that will help them in a couple weeks, whenever they implement that shit.
But yeah, Max is that's an absolute wrap. Red Bull, that's an absolute wrap. Ferrari doesn't have the pedigree, the gonads. I shouldn't say pedigree because they're such a historic team, but the way that they're set up and the personnel they have now just isn't going to work to win a championship against a guy of his nature. I think, though, the one storyline we could get really interesting towards the end of the year is the Mercedes drivers against each other. I think that's going to be something we could see in the future.
Lewis finally beat him.
Right. And I'm thinking that's going to maybe turn into like a little bit of a battle. And if Max just starts winning every race, so it's like we had to find other things to root for, right? We're going to root for Haas. We're going to root for K-Mag to get in the points. We're going to root for Daniel Ricciardo to get last. And then we're going to try to see if George Russell can consistently beat Lewis Hamilton.
Wasn't very long ago on this show, Max Verstappen was plus 170. He is now minus 600. Or minus 170. He's now minus 600. I said on this show, lock that in.
Well, I think we were both right? I said constructors and you said driver.
Yeah, they're minus 500 constructors.
Yeah, that was like 180 or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like not under 2.
Damn it.
Yeah, we fucked that up.
All right. Good luck on Travelers this week. Should be a fun week. I'm going to French Lick, Indiana for a golf bachelor party. We'll see how that goes. My game has shown some nice flashes this year, but I don't know that our regular course prepares me for a big boy course like that. I guess we're going to find out. Keep
the driver down the middle and you'll be good.
I mean, hey, you could say that about any course. So, all right, that's all we got this week. We'll be back next week.
See ya.